Yeah, it's your boy Girl here, back with another video, and today I got a special video, guys, man. Today we're back with the Tournament of Power Season 91 best teams. You guys know that every season we start out with the best teams, followed by part 1 and part 2. When it comes to my intros or my best teams videos, I do not have the path, so don't ask about the path until part 1 and part 2 comes out. Part 1 is going to show all the way up to the first boss 1. Then part 2 is going to go all the way up to the last boss 2. So, yeah, when it comes to these Tournament of Power, I always say to try to focus on 1 to 2 teams to really focus your energy and resources on. Especially since they made the last season a lot difficult, and going forward it's going to be a lot difficult compared to how it was before. So I always say focus on 1 or 2 teams that you guys can main. Try to Z power your units up to 14 stars as closely as possible. It helps with stats. Arts boosting your characters helps with stats as well. Getting your units to friendship level 10 by using the Let's Fight. If not, you can go to part 6, book 1, chapter 8, I believe, the one that has the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and spam that with the friendship equipments. You have to play it. You don't skip it. Don't skip it. You gotta play through it, unfortunately. Then after that, bro, you have the Tournament of Power equipments from the Rare Matter Exchange shops. And then if you have any characters that's Zenkaiable, get them to Zenkai 7. All of it helps with stats. You want survivability. You want to be able to do as much damage as possible so you don't die and you can win 25 wins in a row and get the 1.5k CCs every single season. So with here, they always change up the tiers list, so that's why always you see the teams change, and like my region team changes every season. So without further ado, if you guys enjoy these type of videos, subscribe to the channel, road to 16k, and let's get straight with region. Alright, here, so we got the first team, which is region. I always start off with region because that's the team I'm always going to rock. And region's in a really interesting spot. It's not really because of they don't got a lot of S tier. They actually have a lot of S tiers. It's more, in fact, for me, what should I do with the yellow EX Piccolo? So I'm going to show you the reason why. So when it comes to the region, they have multiple S tier characters that I rock. So you guys see here, they have Omega Shenron on that S tier. They have Green DKP at S tier. They have Red Cooler, which I rocked last season, in which he performed really well. And they also have Piccolo Jr. All 4 of these very viable characters that I rock are in S tier, right? So we have multiple characters at S tier. But when it comes to the yellow EX Piccolo, he got dropped down to A tier. So reason why I like rocking the Piccolo is, yeah, he gives a lot of HP, a lot of healing to the team, but he also was like a really good S tier character that I usually rock. But now the fact that he's in A tier, it kind of gets me thinking, like, should I continue to rock him or should I rock another yellow unit? Now I was thinking about rocking this new Fat Boo here because he does have some way of healing the team and giving like key recovery, right? And he actually gives good Z ability for regen, blast stack, and defense. So I might give him a go since they're both in the same tier. Me personally, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm iffy about rocking the yellow Piccolo. You guys might rock him. I don't know. It's just because he's an A tier, right? I usually rock because of the tier boost. But if you just want him for the extra healing, then I don't mind you guys bringing him. But he's not going to be a character that you're going to be really needed to save for the long run, because your top tier units are going to be the S tier ones. You got Shin, you got Omega, you got Green DKP, you got Metal Cooler here, Zenkai, and you got Piccolo Jr. So I'm still kind of deciding on what's my main team here, but I am going to rock Super Baby 2. He's irreplaceable. He's much needed for regen. He heals his allies by 3% and damage inflicted buffs and health restoration, which is pretty nuts. Then you got Purple Piccolo here. He gives support for the team. He also heals his allies. Yellow Piccolo I like rocking because he's just a character that just has the guaranteed blue card each turn. These characters here are all going to be used because they're S tier, so that's going to help me with guaranteeing my points. And when it comes to the replacements, like I said, Super Baby 2 is irreplaceable. When it comes to the red, like I said, you do have Piccolo Jr. A lot of you guys don't have Piccolo Jr. So if you guys don't have these 2 units, I would definitely recommend Super Boo or Buhan, because he has high key restore speed, so he's usually a character that attacks really fast. And I'm going for a blast-based regen team, so I'm going to go down to Red 21 free to play. She's really good here. She gives great support for the team. and she's a Zenkai character with high stats. So those are the pretty much the main red blast base characters for regen. You could rock Goku Piccolo, but I don't want to rock too many C tier characters, so I would recommend those to be the best blues. If you don't have Omega Shenron at high stars, the best replacements will be, you can definitely rock this EX Majin, Evil Boo. I've rocked him. He actually does pretty good damage. He's not the best in terms of tanking, but damage wise he does get the job done. You also can rock this Metal Cooler here. I really like that he gives support for his allies depending on the way you position him, and he gives debuffs. The only problem with him is that he does double defense for regen and PO and stuff like that. But I really do like these two characters, and then other than that, you can go down to B tier and you can get yourself Boo Tanks. Boo Tanks is another character similar to like LF Piccolo, where he does have the guaranteed blue card at the start of the first turn, I believe, right? Start of the first turn he gets it, so he gets a guaranteed blue card. So if you're trying to snipe a powerful red, he's gonna be a really great option. It's just that he's in the B tier. Don't want to rock too many B tier units for that. In terms of the yellow, I really do recommend having LF Piccolo. He's a really great yellow. If you don't have him though, it's not like it's the end of the world that you don't have him. You guys have multiple great yellow regen options. If you guys do have this new Majin Buu, he's really good. He gives support for the team. He gives key recovery for his allies as well. So he has nice ways of healing the way that you position him. So me personally, if I was to put the Buu, I'll probably put him like here, so he can heal like Shenron and Purple Piccolo, and then he gives like the key restore speed for both of them. So that's pretty nice because Baby just has a better middle support. You also have this yellow free-to-play cell, perfect cell. That's really good in terms of the blast base. And then you also have yellow Rage Shenron as blast base. You could rock the Zenkai cell. He's strike base though, so I kind of put him towards the end. And then you also have this first form cell. Unfortunately, he's really good. It's just that he's way more valuable on the Androids team than he is on the Regen squad. In terms of the green, right, if you don't have free-to-play DKP, which he is a free character, which you guys should have, another character that's pretty solid that I've used before is this green first form cell. He has ways of giving debuffs for the enemies, and I believe at the end of third or the second turn, he heals himself by 10%, which is pretty cracked there. If you don't have him, I definitely do recommend the green Baby Trunks or even green 21 here. They're decent blast base characters. And if you need to go down to the C tier, you guys can go down and get like maybe Omega Shenron or even Cryhon here for the blast base side of things there. In terms of the purple is kind of like Regen's worst color. If you do have the red ribbon Army Piccolo, I recommend him. Other than that, I'll probably go with the free-to-play Super Buu here because he gives support, and he also has high key restore speed, and he also gives like the stun on his opponents with the howling effect. He does the stun on that. And then also you have here Light Skin Piccolo, which is in C tier. He does give support for his allies, or you could go down with the LF Perfect Cell here, blast based characters there. And that's pretty much it with all the characters here. Red, yellow, green, purple, blue. That's pretty much it there with Regen. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have Unireps or Universe Survival Saga here. This is more the strike base side of things, and then the next one is going to be blast base. So with the irreplaceable character, pretty much I usually have the Blue Kale support because he just gives healing for the team and support for our allies depending on where they're placed at up top. And then also we'll say yellow Zenkai Goku just because he gets the guaranteed blue card, I believe start of second turn. Yeah, the start of the second turn guaranteed blue card. So this is someone that just has like similar to like the LF Piccolo ability, which is really nice. And when it comes to like the S and Z tier characters, I do have Urine here. Now Urine is not part of the Unirep tag, but she's part of the Universe Survival Saga tag. So she's strike based. She gives great debuffs for the team. She's not a character that you really need. There's multiple options you guys can use for the strike base of the Unireps in terms of their S and Z tier boost. I have Shampoo in here as well because he does strike base as well. And then if you don't have them, I would recommend using the Topo here. Since Topo is support, he kind of has like a fleshed out stats in terms of the strike and blast. He gives a lot more support for rival universe characters. So if your strike based team consists of a lot of characters that's not from Universe 7, then he's going to have a little bit more value. If you don't have him as well, then I would recommend the other character to rock is Bergamo here. I have him at a high star. He thrives off the strike base side of Unireps as well. So you have 3 different options for your Z's and S that can help with the points. Now when it comes to the other characters, like I said, I already talked about Kale. I already talked about the Kaioken Goku. For the red, I always rock Bergamo. The reason why I like Bergamo is 1, he's a Zenkai character. 2, he actually heals, I believe, at the start of the 3rd turn, which is really nice. So he has nice survivability. And then also he gives HP for the Universe Survival Saga. So the fact that he's a Zenkai, he heals himself, and he is a health buffer is really nice. It's a really valuable character. When it comes to the reds, pretty much you have Red Castro. He's actually not bad. I believe he heals and stuff too. Yep. And he also gives support based on where he is at. So Red Castro is not a bad red to use. And if you don't have Red Castro, then you got to just go with the old reliable red MUI Goku here. Or you can go with the Ultra Hit. But the fact that Bergamo's HP and he's in the B tier boost, I value him a little bit more. But if you guys don't have him, those are your other red options for Unireps. And when it comes to the green side of things, they don't really have a lot of green strike-based characters. So if you do have Kiawe, she pretty much is your best bet. The fact that she gives support buffs like strike-based support, strike attack for her allies, you guys see there. She heals her allies by 1%, which is really nice too. And then she also, depending on where she's at, she got these certain cover changes. I just feel like she's a really solid character. Does great damage. She gives support and she heals out her allies. Like, she's pretty much the best green for the team. All the other greens, for the most part, are, like I said, Jiren. You don't want to use your C tier on Jiren. I'll recommend probably rock green Kefla as your next green. And the other characters here are more blast-based side of things. So if you don't really have Kiawe, I'll probably focus more on the blast-based. I think Unirep has a better blast-based side of characters than strike-based. But if you do have the strike-based side, then keep watching this section. And in terms of the blue, I like rocking the EX Jiren just because EX Jiren, he's a character that has great damage, and he also heals himself by 5%. So if you guys do have a high star EX Jiren, then I'll definitely give him a go. I'll probably say another character that you guys can rock that can replace him is maybe getting like a stronger purple. So you might go down here and get yourself like the LF Jiren, since you're only using 2 C tier characters. The max that I'll probably recommend is using 3 C tier characters. So if you just want a stronger main, like just a strong purple, instead of a character that switches from blue and purple, like Go Frieza here, you guys can always take that EX Jiren out and put in the purple Jiren, because they don't really have a lot of good purple strike base for the Unireps. Or if they do, then I don't have that character on my team. I don't have every character in the game. And that's pretty much it there with the strike base side of things. For the yellow, there isn't really a lot of yellow characters to choose from the strike base side. I would recommend, if you are going to go with a blast base yellow, Golden Frieza is the best one, just because he gets a guaranteed blue card. And depending on how the match is, he might get 2 blue cards in one match. So I recommend him being like one of the top tier yellows for Unireps if you want to replace the Kaioken Goku. The green Kefla is for Kiawe's sake. Purple, I'll probably say, is your best bet is going to be the Jiren. And in terms of, if you want like a main solid blue, then LF17. But like I said, I try to focus more on the strike base side of the team. And that's pretty much it there. That's pretty much it with the strike base. Let's go with the blast base next. Yep. Or you can go with Green Kaba. I think Green Kaba does Green Rival Universe though. Alright, so for the next team we have is going to be the Blast Base Unireps team. You're going to see a lot of the same characters for the most part. You guys see there on the S tier spot, the S and like the backups for the most part. I decided to go with the blue EXKL and the green Dispo. They're more on the Blast Base side for Unireps here. You guys see they're both range types. If you guys don't have them, I'll probably say the other characters to use, depending on your star counts and stuff, and all of that, would be the EX Vados here. EX Vados is kind of more on the blast base side. Then the strike base side, but like I said, I don't really know you guys' box. So if you guys do have like a higher start Vados, then compared to the Kale, then rock her. If you don't have Vados, then I'll recommend, like I said, EX Topo, since his stat spread isn't that bad compared to the strike and the blast side of things. You guys see there, it's really close, gives support and everything like that. So I think he's a really good option as well. And if you don't have EX Topo, then the other two characters that's not bad as part of the S tier is Green Kaba. I mean, the only thing that sucks is his Z ability. He only focuses on green units. But I mean, he's not a bad character. He has ways of survivability and decent blast damage. And then purple Kefla here, this free to play character. I mean, she's not a bad character, decent damage pretty much for the most part. And then she gives extra support for Universe Saga reps and everything. So not a bad character to use for as an S tier spot. So depends on your stars and everything in terms of the blast base side. So when it comes to the main characters, C tier, the Angel Golden Frieza is like irreplaceable. He's a character that you're going to want to run for sure because he gets a guaranteed blue card like LF Piccolo, like the Kaioken strike base Goku. When it comes to the blue, I do recommend having 17. You just want to have a backup blue that's like a really powerful blue that can do damage instead of just relying off Kale, because Kale is more of support. She's not really a character that you're going to rely off being your main blue and healing and giving support. She's just going to do her support role. But you also want to have a strong blue just to guide her just in case you face multiple reds. So Super Saiyan, I mean LF MVP 17 is pretty much really the only blue blast based character. So he's kind of like in the irreplaceable spot for the Unireps team. If you don't have him, or like the Angel Go to Frieza, go to another team and try to build another team. When it comes to the purple, I decided to go with the LF Jiren as like my last C tier character. You could go with UI Stein Goku. Me personally, I like Jiren a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter who you choose. It's kind of just preference. And when it comes to the green side, I decided to go with Angel Go to Frieza as my blast base. You can either go with the TN. TN has the stun with the Solar Flare. He also has ways of healing every time he lands a blast card, similar to like the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Every time he lands a blast card, I believe he heals himself as well. And also Golden Frieza does basically the same thing. Every time he lands a blast card, he ramps up and stuff. So out of the three characters that's in the same spot, that's blast base green, I'd rather go with the Golden Frieza. Then you can go with like TN, and then you can go with the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Maybe the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta before TN, but the fact that TN has the Solar Flare might put him over the edge over the Vegeta. In terms of the blue here, you could probably rock with this Beerus. This Beerus has ways of giving support for his allies and stuff, so it's not a bad character to use. The problem is that just double defense there, but he's not a bad option for the blast base side of the team. In terms of the red, you can go with Bergamo. You could go with Castro, but like I said, he's more strike based. And then if you don't have Bergamo, then I recommend MUI. MUI just has a really close stat spread here. If you guys do make him more of a blast based side, just make sure you change his thing here from blast to strike to blast there. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this team here. Any other colors that I'm missing out on? Not really. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team I have is LOE. LOE actually got some really good S tier characters, really valuable characters, similar to like Regen for this season, which is really nice for the team. And let's get straight to it. So excuse me. Alright, so for the for the S tier characters, my bad. You have three great options here. All blast base. Like I said, you have the Red Metal Cooler. Really good character. I rock him for my Regen side. He has high key recovery, so that's really nice. He has ways of healing himself, and I mean, he's a blast based LOE character. That's an S tier spot. Really good character. So you might want to put him over the DBS Frieza if you just want the extra points. I mean, he's also a character that can has great survivability since he heals himself. The only thing I like about the DBS Frieza a little bit more than the Cooler here is just that he has the stun off his kit there, so that's really nice. But if you just want someone that has a little bit more points and you want to use him a little bit more, I don't mind you rocking the Cooler a little bit more, the Metal Cooler instead of the DBS Frieza there. When it comes to the other one, I have Green Free-to-Play Cooler. Green Free-to-Play Final Form Cooler is really nice. I mean, great damage there. He also gives support depending on where you place him. So if you place him like kind of like where this Frieza is, for example, that's a really good spot. or you can put him near where this Frieza is, so he can give like the DBS and the green cooler, the regular form cooler support. Just depends on where you place. He can actually give some support for his team as well. And he heals every time he lands a blast card and gives debuffs. You can't go wrong with that, right? Like blast damage and stuff. That's something that you can't really complain about for a S tier character. So I definitely add him there for the extra points. So you have 3 S tier characters. You have Chill, which is super valuable because he's a Zenkai character. He Zenkai buffs the LF Frieza. He gives support for the whole team. And then he also is an HP buffer. And I believe if he does land his blue card, he gives a stun because he does the paralyze off his regular PvP blue card. He has a chance of paralyzing. So every time he lands his blue card, he paralyzes the enemy. And he also gives debuffs. So like really, really valuable character. Really valuable. So other than that, in terms of the A, like I said, I have the DBS Frieza just as another good red. He's blast based. That's why I picked him over the transforming golden Frieza red. I think LOE is a better blast based team than strike based. And then also for this green, I decided to go with this cooler. The reason why is I believe cooler here, doesn't he have a stun? Yeah, he has a stun here with his first turn. So he can basically stun the enemy where they don't attack you. So that's really valuable. And he's also a Zenkai character with high stats. If you guys don't have him though, I mean, you guys could rock this Final Form Frieza. He's just more the strike based side of the team. But he gives support for like PO, like healing right here in his cadence and damage inflicted buffs. But if you do have the Zenkai cooler, he's more blast based. He flows with the team a little bit better. In terms of my blue, I always go with Revival Frieza because he has ways of supporting and healing the team. And then he's, like I said, he's a revival. So if he does die, he transforms into like the post revival and everything like that. So that's just a really valuable character there. The only other blue that I would recommend for the LOE squad is just this metal cooler here, just because he's blast based. And depending on where you position him, he gives support. Since he's not in the S tier, I decided just to go with the Revival Frieza instead. Next after that, you do have the LF Frieza, bro. Like the fact that he's getting double Zenkai buffs, and he's also pretty much supporting everyone in the field. And he also has a stun in his turn. So LOE has a lot of characters that just can stun. You have Chilled, you have the LF Frieza, you have the Zenkai cooler there, you have the red DBS Frieza. You have so many characters that can debuff. And then for my main C tier character is going to be the LOE Angel Golden Uni Rep Frieza. Guaranteed blue card, just the best yellow. If you don't have the yellow Frieza, I would recommend his best counterpart would be this Zenkai regular Frieza here, and then the LF yellow Frieza. In terms of the purples, the best purples is LF Frieza and Chilled. He's probably comes third, Mecha Frieza. And then in terms of the red, I already talked about the reds. And then the greens, I already talked about the greens. And then when it comes to the blues, I already talked about Metal Cooler being your backup. So it's kind of really more of a niche team. You're not going to really see a lot of replacements. You could add in like Golden Frieza and Go Frieza here. It's just that they're more of a strike-based team, where this team really thrives on the blast side. So that's pretty much it with LOE. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have Androids. Androids just like a blast-based team, similar to Regen, and they just have a lot of good characters. So let's break down Androids for this season. So when it comes to the blast-based or like their S and Z tier characters, if you guys do have, I believe he's in S. If you guys do have the Cell Jr. like good stars, like use him please. He has great damage here, Kai Ki recovery, right? And then also at the end of the third turn, he has ways of healing himself. And I always value those characters. Characters that can find a way of self-healing is just super valuable, especially for a mode where you want survivability. He's really like one of the most valuable SZ tier characters like every season, the Cell Jr. So if you guys do have him, definitely rock him for sure. In terms of my other S tier, I decided to go with the purple Android 15 here. He has decent blast damage, and then he has a way of giving like some type of debuffs for the enemies. So I decided to rock him. If you guys wanted to rock somebody else, maybe the EX Android 17. The only problem is he's strike based, and his Z ability is really catered to just red Z abilities. He's also not a bad character to rock. The EX15 here is just only just blast damage. So if you want to rock him you want to add him as an extra green for the Z tier boosts, you can definitely do that. Find a way to get some extra points. You can definitely rock him. Only problem I have with this cell, he's a great debuffer. It's just his Z ability only does future. You don't really see a lot of future androids off the setup, off this setup here. Maybe if you have a lot of cell characters, he can really thrive, and his ZB might help a little bit more. But he's not a bad character to rock as well for a S or Z tier boost. So other than that, and when it comes to the main Android 6 here, gotta have 17. He's pretty much the best blue on the team. The other blues is really strike based like Aider and Gamma 2. For a blast based side, he kind of just the main character that you want to rock. Other than that, I definitely do recommend having the Zenkai First Form Cell. I mean, he's really like the chilled in a sense for androids. He gives HP for the team. He Zenkai buffs yellow androids, and then he also gives support for the team, and he heals the team as well. So like he heals all his androids, gives support for his androids, HP for the team, and then he Zenkai buffs a yellow. Like that's too much value, so I always add him on there. And when it comes to the other purple, like your main damage dealing purple, I'd always go with the Hellfighter or the GT17. It's because he's always in the B tier spot. Really good blast damage, and he also has, depending on where you position him, he gives support for his GT and androids and his range, and he gives debuffs. So I kind of do like him as like the main purple, so I don't have to waste like a C tier spot off like the newer LF cell. I always just rock him since he's in the C tier spot. As my other yellow, I always give yellow 18 as my main yellow. She gives support, healing for the team. And I kind of just value her a lot. If you don't have her, you can go with the Zenkai cell. He's going to Zenkai himself, plus the EX cell is going to Zenkai him. You can always go with the Gammas too. If you want to spend another C tier unit, you can go with the Gammas. I just want to give you guys that option for flexibility's sake. And then after that, the other yellow I kind of like is this free to play cell here. Give support for his allies blast, right? So since it's a blast based team, he's going to thrive a little bit more here. Those are pretty much the best yellows. In terms of the red, I like rocking the Android 18. The only reason why I'm rocking her is because he's in the S tier, so she has some great value here. So I kind of wanted to kind of like just use her because he's an S tier red character for the blast based Android side of things. If you don't have her, which I'm surprised you guys don't, you guys can always go with the free to play red 21, or you even go with the tag droids. I mean, the fact that they're in the B tier, that's super valuable because they're always in the C tier spot. If you don't have them, then you can always go down and use Super 17 as your main red damage dealer. You could definitely do that for sure. When it comes to green, you have like 4 options. The reason why I go with the first form cell is just because he's in a higher tier than all the other green blast based androids. Ways of healing and giving debuffs is pretty good. I mean, especially since he heals by 10% to himself. His Z ability isn't the best because future gives him the blast and androids a strike attack. So if you guys do want to find replacements for him, literally you guys can pick either the green 21, Gamma 1, or Magenta. Since they're all in the same tier, you can either go wrong. Just pick the character that has the highest, you have the highest stars and the highest stats, because they're all in the same tier spots for the green blast. I like Gamma 1 a little bit more just because he has high key recovery compared to the other units here. And let me actually take a look here and actually just confirm that there. Yeah, if you actually take a look at his stats, he gets 140 key recovery. So I think with that calculation, he might have the edge over Magenta and them. I might be entirely wrong though, because the Magenta might have some key recovery. Yeah, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he has a 80 right here. But you got to spot that's the start of turn. If there's 3 enemies left, then he pops this, and then he gets the guarantee. So Magenta might actually be a little bit more valuable than Gamma 1. Yeah, I might have actually put Magenta green 21 because he has a solar flare. He has a solar flare there, and then the Gamma 1. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. I mentioned the red, I mentioned the purple, I mentioned the blue. There's really no replacements for MVP 17. Yellow, green, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have Majin Buu Saga Blast Base. Me personally, I don't really see the value in the strike base team still. So I'm still just gonna do only the blast base side of things. So yeah, let's get straight to it. When it comes to like their irreplaceable unit, I guess I would just say Ultimate Gohan. pretty much. I mean, he's just a really good purple unit, but you don't really need, he's not like a must-have like Super Baby 2 for GT and Regen, for example. But he's just a really, he just, what he does for what he does with his kit is pretty nuts though. He does a lot, so kind of why I kind of put him there. But when it comes to like the S and Z tier spots, I have the Burra just because he recently just got his Zenkai and he gives healing for himself, and I think he ramps up every turn, which is nice. And he Zenkai buffs blue Majin Saga, so if you pair him up with another blue like Boo Tanks or even TN here, really good synergy there. So I decided to add him as my S, and then I also have the green Go Tanks there. He has ways of damage afflicted buffs for 3 turns, and then reduce damage for 3 turns, and then the 4th turn he doesn't really do much. Any other options besides them for the S tier spot and the Z tier spot? I'll probably do like this purple Boo here, but he's just not really, he's not really up there compared to the other two in my opinion. But he's just a good 3rd option maybe. Then when it comes to the other teams, when it comes to the other units here for the main 6, when it comes to the red here, I decided to rock the Go Tanks just because he's an A tier for now, but I believe next season he's going to drop down to C tier. So I added him just to take advantage of him, and I have him at 13 stars. Yep, 13 stars. But next after that, we do have our blue. I decided to use TN because TN, he's at a B tier spot. He gives great thing. I believe like what, health restoration? Yeah, health restoration, and then damage afflicted buffs. So the fact that he's there, they're getting healed by the 18. This increases the more healing for the team. If you don't have the TN, then you guys can rock the Boo Tanks or even the Evil Boo, and then you also have EX, not EX, but Zenkai Burra. So you have really good blue options for the team. Then when it comes to the red, like I said, if you don't have the Go Tanks, then you guys could definitely rock the Super Boo here. And then if you can go down to the B tier, you guys have Shin. Shin gives support for the team, and he heals the team at the end of the 2nd turn. And then you also just have a character that just does a lot of damage, which is Red Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's just that he doesn't give no type of Z ability for the team. He just does red. So those are your red options. And in terms of the green, I have Pui Pui here just because he's free to play. He gives HP for the team, and then he gives support for his allies, which is really valuable. But if you don't have Pui Pui, you guys can just rock Fat Boo just for someone that just gives a little bit more healing for the team. So if you want to do something like, I don't know, like this maybe, so you have more healing for the team, you guys can. But I still would just stick with Pui Pui. HP support, kind of like him a little bit more. Or you can go with the Evil Boo from the C tier spot as your only green. Since we're only using one C tier spot, you guys could definitely rock him as well. Now when it comes to the purple, I decided to go with just the purple Boo, purple Super Boo. He's in the A tier, right? Yeah, A tier. Gives support for the team, high key restore speed, so he's one of the characters that attacks fast in this mode. And then he also has the can attack thing. Since his green card, he does a little screaming thing. He has that, so the enemies can't attack, or one of the enemies can't attack for a turn. I believe it's the start of the 3rd turn he does that. And then you also have like this free-to-play Goku. So if you want to add him, you guys can. And also with the Boo Duo, you guys could definitely rock them as well as an option. Like I said, for the max, I usually do 3 C tier characters. As long as you have like the S and Z tier characters on the backup side, you guys can definitely add in them as a blue. I don't have them Zenkai 7 because they're 6 stars. But you guys can definitely rock this purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well, because he gives great support for the team. And then when it comes to the yellow, I just go with the yellow 18. Just because support, free to play. Like she supports with healing and damage afflicted buffs for the team. But if you don't have her, then you guys summon for the new banner, you guys have Majin Buu good here. Gives support for the team and key restore speed, and then also like just a higher tier spot than the 18. But it just depends on if you have summon on the character or not. So that's pretty much it with the Majin Buu Saga tag. Let's hop to the next team. Alright, next team we have is Blast Base GT. And let's get straight to it. So when it comes to like the S and Z tier spots, I kind of really like 3 characters from there. Guys, take a look here. I decided to go with the yellow Vegeta just because he, I mean, if you do bring him in, he does Zenkai Yellow GT. So him and Rage, if you guys rock them together, Rage will be able to get that Zenkai buff. I think he's not bad. I think he's a decent S tier character, so I decided to rock him. And in terms of the other S tier, I decided to go with Oob. I know Oob is strike based, but he's just a really good option to use. So I decided to rock him. And then you also have if you guys do have that new GT Trunks, you guys can definitely use him. I just don't have him, and I believe his Z tier, he's a really good green. But if you don't have him, then you got these other options. But if you guys do have him, I recommend him as your backup. Shin is also not a bad character to rock. Support for the team, which is really good. And then Ice Shenron will probably be like my other option. Because since he's more on the blast based side, definitely would recommend him as a good option as well. But since if you are a main GT, you're probably going to have Omega at a really high stars. So Omega is going to be your main 6 here. And then also Super Baby 2. Super Baby 2 is also going to even Zenkai buff the Shin or any other blue GT characters, so that's really nice. And then when it comes to the purple, I decided to go with the Hellfighter 17, GT 17. I don't know why I keep saying Hellfighter. I think he's the GT. He's the main 17 from this universe. He's not from that other dimension. So I don't know why I keep saying that, but yeah, this 17, the reason why I decided to place him here is because he gives support for the left down. So like he's going to support Super 17, Omega, and Baby. So I decided to add him there. As my green, I decided to go with Baby Trunks. Doesn't really matter if you guys want to go with the full power Super Saiyan 4. Just wanted to go with a blast-based GT character. So either one, if you have them higher stars, just pick which one. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at all. It's just the one that you have higher stars and stats and stuff. Just go with that. The reason why I have them set up like this kind of like weird setup here is because of Rage. Rage, if you see how like his thing is, he gives support like an S, S for Shenron here. So I decided to kind of like build that S in a sense. So everyone's gonna get support. And I believe if he gets hit with a strike card, they can't attack. And I believe if he gets a blast card, he heals. So no matter what he gets hit with, he's gonna get some type of benefit from it, similar to like how he is in PvP. And then for my rare, I decided to go with Super 17. So, right, I have two Z tier, two C tier characters. If you want to grab another green, maybe someone with a little bit of survivability, you could add in Bola Vegeta. Even though I think they're more suited for strike. More suited on strike, but if you just want character that has support and healing, you can never go wrong with adding in Bola Vegeta. Or if you want a stronger green blast-based unit, you guys can use your third C tier for Omega. In terms of the reds here, if you guys don't want to rock Super 17, this guy's a really good character, the Super Saiyan free-to-play Goku. I kind of like him a little bit more than the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I feel like his stats are a little bit better there. And on this A tier side, I don't really see any good blast-based units. All these units are, for the most part, strike, but the blast-based ones kind of are poo-poo. So that's why I don't really show any of those other characters. And that's pretty much it with the blast-based side of GT. Let's hop into the strike-based side.
Alright, so for the next team we have is strike-based GT. And when it comes to the strike-based GT team, this is kind of what I built. So let's start with the backup units. I decided to go with Maju and then the blue EX Shin. I just feel like they're kind of like the best S tier and Z tier characters from what I have. If you guys do have that new GT Trunks, not this one, but that new one, you guys could definitely rock him as well. But I really feel like they're just really the best options there. If you guys do want to rock the blue Omega Shenron as your S tier character instead of the Pan, you guys can definitely do that. I just wanted to build a more strike base of the GT team, so that's why I didn't put him. But if you guys do have him, then replace the blue Zenkai Pan. So let's get straight with the main 6 though. For my C tiers, I decided to go with 3. I decided to go with 2 healers with the blue Baby. He's irreplaceable. Gotta have him. Just the healing he gives and the support that he gives for the team is really nice. And the fact that he's Zenkai buffs blue GT units, he's going to be Zenkai buffing the EX Shin, the Pan, or if you have Omega Shenron, you guys can rock him as well. Then you'll have Bola and Vegeta, just because of the support and healing that they give as well. So you have 2 units that focus on the healing side of the GT side, so that's just really good with survivability. And then for my other C tier, I decided to go with the tag forwards, because you do need an offensive green here. All the other greens here are really blast based, so they're kind of like your main offensive green damage dealing unit for sure. So I decided to add them as a C tier unit. And then when it comes to the other colors, The reason why I added in yellow pan and then the red GT Goku is because just to get as much a much value off GT Pan's Zenkai GT Pan Z ability here, because he does girls and Sun Fam. So she's pretty much Z buffing. Her Z ability buffs everyone pretty much in the main tag besides Baby, Oob, and then you have Shin here. That's really the only three characters that are not getting her Z ability, but everybody else is because they're either girls or from Sun Fam. That's just really like kind of one specific GT setup that you guys can rock. If you guys are not going to rock her and maybe want to rock like the Shenron, like I know it's a strike based team, but since he's S tier, he's going to have a lot of value. You guys can definitely add them there. And then the replacements for the yellow, I recommend Super 17. That's that. If you guys don't have that new pan there, you guys can definitely rock GT 17 there, that free to play one, or the Oob. Oob is range, but he does give support for the team, and I believe he heals himself by 5%. And then you also have Shin here. Shin is kind of neutral. The Zenkai Shin here. So those are your kind of like your options for the yellow strike base. They're kind of, this one's range, and then he's just neutral. So those are kind of like the other options you guys can use, but they're in the same B tier spot as Pan. And then you have Super 17 free to play. That's actually a pretty not a bad offensive attacker. So that's kind of like your replacements for the yellow. And in terms of the red, you pretty much have is just the Zenkai Omega. Me personally, I think Omega's a little bit better than a lot better than the Goku here. Just if you guys are rocking Pan, I'll rock that red Goku for the Z abilities wise. But just his stats is just better, and I like his kit a little bit more. And you know, I like regen units. So if I could rock regen units, I'm gonna rock him over. When it comes to the C tier spots, I don't want to add like 4 C tier units, so I'm kind of just using him as a B tier. Pretty good value here. And then when it comes to the green, you pretty much have is really these main 3 greens, especially for the strike base side, G4 or the tag 4. So I definitely wanted to add tag 4 as one of my main C tiers, as if I had to pick one more other unit. Now I don't have Ultra G4, so you guys want like maybe like a better offensive purple, you could probably take out and maybe add in 4 C tier units if you want to do that. I don't know how the points is going to work out for you guys, but if you guys do want to add 4 C tiers, maybe add in G4 so you have like a better offensive purple instead of Bola Vegeta giving support for the team. But other than that, that's pretty much it there. I don't want to add in like Forku or Baby because it's too much C tier units for the strike base side of things. So I kind of wanted to get some good A's and B tier spots, and then the good S tier spots as well. So that's pretty much it with the strike base side of GT. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team we have blast based movies here. So when it comes to the movie side, this is really just catered more to the blast based side of things. So I'm gonna try to make this fully blast when it comes to their options for each color. So for the S tiers, I decided to go with the double coolers like I did with Eloise. They're both part of movies as well, so I'm like, I might as well just use them as my main S tiers for the blast based side of things. And they're pretty much really the only ones that I really like from what I'm seeing from the Z's and the S. I don't really see anybody else that's like that I would kind of replace them for. Maybe Android 15, but he only buffs androids here, unfortunately. So it's kind of like these are really like your best options for real. Like everybody else is kind of like decent, and they're kind of more on the strike base side of all the characters from the S and Z pools for the movies this season. So really, if you guys have these, they're really old characters. One is free to play, and if you do have this metal cooler, he's pretty good. Great survivability. He's able to heal himself and all that good stuff there. Next, when it comes to the main team, I decided to go with Roshi. Roshi has an HP buff for movies, so that's really good. He gives support for the team, and he really charges up his blue card really fast. So it's really nice here. And I position him here because he gives support in allies range at the end of each turn, which is really nice. Then I have Red Ribbon Army Piccolo here, just because he gives support, and I already kind of explained how good Piccolo is, so I don't really need a deep dive into his kit because you guys already kind of know about that. Gotenks here, I really like what he does with the debuffs on his first turn, and then he gives support for everyone around him, so that's why I put him in the center. And then when it comes to the other DBS Frieza and the Zenkai Green Cooler, I kind of explained how good they are with their can attack, and they have great offensive unique abilities in their kit. So I decided to add them in there to kind of like say, like the reasons why I mentioned them in the LOE team. There's really good damage, and the fact that they're both in A tier is really valuable as well. And then I have the blue devious Broly because of the just what he does for a blue blast based movie unit. There's not really a lot of blue blast based movies characters. There's a lot more strike based than it is with blast based for sure. So I definitely wanted to add him in here on the team. And then when it comes to the replacements for each color, when it comes to the green, you pretty much have magenta and you have gamma 1 for the cooler here. I like magenta 1 a little bit more, or I said magenta 1, magenta over gamma 1. So I wanted to add him over gamma 1. When it comes to the red, you really don't have a lot of options for red blast, but you have cooler here. And then I'll probably say the next best color, best unit is probably going to be Great Saiyaman. Now they do focus more on the strike base side, but I do like the fact that they give support for the team. Depending on where you position them, they're able to buff 3 characters. Everybody else is really strike based for the movie squad in terms of the red. So those are really your main options there. And then when it comes to the purple, you can go down to the C tier spots since we only have one C tier character here, and you can go with the light skin Piccolo. Light skin Piccolo gives some support for his allies here, and he just does great blast damage. He has a great offensive ability for the team. Then you also have Goku Youth as well, and also for the red, you guys could drop down and get Piccolo Goku if you guys did something for the new Piccolo Goku and Garlic Jr. You do have them, or you guys can go with the Red Pan, another character that just gives HP for the team. And if you do want to go strike base, just have like just one strike base character. Since we're only using one C tier, you guys could do Red Beast, similar to like with the blue Broly here. Since we don't have a lot of good blue blast base units, you guys can go down and rock Beast Gohan, the blue Beast Gohan as well, because he just does so much value. You also have the cooler here that gives support. It is that his Z ability gives double defense, but he does give support for his team, and I think he's just pretty solid. I rock him on my region team if he's in S tier. He does pretty solid as well. But if you just want someone that's just a little bit more offensive, you guys can go down, maybe rock this Gohan. Free to play Gohan, he's blast based. The only issue I have with the Gohan is that he does a little bit more damage. A lot of his kit is based off PO units. But if you do just want to maybe have a few strike based units, you can never go wrong with Blue Beast. Since like I said, we only have one C tier character. If you guys want to get 3 C tiers, you guys can maybe do like Blue Beast and Red Beast together, just to have a little bit more offensive impact for the team and all that good stuff. Now when it comes to the Roshi, you pretty much have Gammas here, and that's pretty much it for the yellows, right? Everybody else is kind of strike based. Not really the biggest fan of this Goku. I think he's kind of more focused around Sun Fam than what he is with movies himself. Yeah, everybody else here is kind of just really strike based. You have Gammas. You could rock Tapion. Tapion is strike based, but he has some type of support as well. But like I said, the blast based team is a little bit more niche on the movie side of things. So let's hop into the next team. Alright, so the next team we have is strike based movies here. Now when it comes to the movie strike based teams, you can kind of build this in multiple ways. So I'm going to kind of give you guys like 2 different team options. But let's get straight to it. So when it comes to the C tier for this setup, I decided to go with Double Beast and Yellow Gotenks. I already kind of explained how I really like Gotenks as a character, what he does for the especially with the start of first turn with the debuffs and the support for the team. So I always have him in the center. And then for like 2 offensive dominant characters, we have Blue Beast and Red Beast that just kind of does all the damage for the team. So I kind of really like that for sure on the strike base side. And then when it comes for the green unit, I decided to go with the Trunks because Trunks is a pretty solid green strike base movies character. I don't have the Videl, so I don't know where she's at, like if she's A tier or B tier, but Videl will be a really great option because she does give support for Gohans and movies characters as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I do have green Trunks as my main green here. And then also for my other red, I decided to go with the red Great Saiyaman because he's going to Zenkai buff the Red Beast here, and then he gives support depending on where you place him, but his best spot is kind of here, so he's only going to be supporting Gotenks, unfortunately. But it's not that bad of a support. I like Piccolo's support a little bit more, and also Gotenks compared to the Great Saiyaman. But the fact that he's there and Zenkai buff and Red Beast is already good enough there. Now when it comes to the S tier spots, I decided to go with the Trunks and the Zanya. They're like the ones I really like the most. A lot of people could rock this purple Vegeta. The only issue I have with him is he gets a lot of his buffs once he gets hit, and you don't really know the odds of you getting hit in the game and everything, and it could be late when he gets hit. So it's kind of a toss-up. But I mean, with the Trunks here, he does give support for hybrids and Super Saiyans and Vegeta Clan. We have a lot of hybrid characters in here, so that's just really good. It's kind of building like that hybrids movies team for the sort of strike-based movies. And then Zhang, I feel like is not bad to give support at the end of each turn and then 40 strike damage. So I feel like that's pretty solid there. If I had a replacer, maybe the Zenkai Broly here, but I really like these two as my S tiers. And then when it comes to the Z tiers, I ain't really see anybody that I really like as well here. So this is kind of like one of those setups here. When it comes to another setup here, I have one where it kind of focuses on like that EX Sauce Thouser, where you kind of focus more off of having a cooler on the team. So I decided to add in, replace him with Red Cooler. So whenever he's in here, you guys see he's not like the green Thouser, but he does get extra if there's a cooler character remaining. So you can kind of replace Red Beast, have a Z tier character, and then you have Cooler as your C tier character still. So that's still not bad. It's kind of like a little different setup here. And then other than that, it's pretty much that, where you're switching those two characters. Now when it comes to the replacements for the blues, you kind of want Blue Beast as your main C tier. You kind of want him to be your main damage dealer. So he's kind of the character that I don't really want to replace in terms of, unless you get another strong C tier character like Janemba or Blue Broly. But I really think Beast I like him more than the other C tier characters, especially since I have him 14 stars and everything. Then when it comes to the yellow, I decided to go with Gotenks just because of like I said, the support that he gives for the team is really nice. You don't really need Gotenks, but I just like him. You can also go with the Fusion Gogeta. And then also you do have Yellow Tapion here. That's not a bad option as well. But I decided to go with Gotenks. Use at least 3 of my C tiers on my main damage dealers and the main support for the team. When it comes to the purple here, you can either go with Red Ribbon Army Piccolo or with the Goten here, especially if you're building him with a lot of the Gohans, because he gives healing to Gohans and support by the end of each turn, by the end of the second turn. So if you do rock like a lot of Gohan characters on this movie setup, then this guy has a pretty good value as well. Then after that, when it comes to greens is pretty rough, not gonna lie. I believe that you guys can definitely switch out him with EX Thouser. If you guys want to rock, like I said, the cooler setup there, you guys can do that. But I wouldn't recommend rocking Thouser. If you guys do have is that C tier new Broly C tier? I think he is, unfortunately. Yeah, he is. So when it comes to the green, you're kind of left with like this Broly here, and then you kind of have this Frieza. That's not bad. He's not a bad character, just that he's an EX that's in the B tier spot. You kind of have Thouser. So unless you want to use one of your C tier units, say for example you want to take Gotenks out, and then you want to use Tapion, then you might want to use one of your green C tier spots for a green character, like this green Broly or Dragon Fist Goku. You guys could definitely do that as well, for sure. And then maybe switch it up here, have it like this, and then you'll be good to go here in a sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the movies. And let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, I have Blast Space event exclusive. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's finish this up. And when it comes to the S tiers, I decided to go with the green Final Form Cooler and the red 18, just because I feel like they're just the best Blast Space here. If you want to have another options besides them two, I mean, and I also have green DKP, because green DKP is really good. I always rock him on my regen team, so I just know that he's gonna perform really well on the event exclusive. He heals himself as well, just like Cooler. But if it comes to the other options, the only ones that I really like that's blast based here is the purple Kefla, kind of more offensively minded type of character. And then you also have the red EX Raspberry here, just another offensive minded blast based unit as well. Those are really the only options that I see for the blast based side that I really like. So I definitely wanted to mention them as well. But let's hop into the main 6. So when it comes to the C tier, you don't really need to have these C tier units. You really don't. But I decided to, why not have them here? And you can kind of build like a few different setups with these C tier units. The reason why I have Bulma here is, one, she gives support for the people that's above here, so she's going to support 18 Piccolo, DKP, and then Pui Pui. And then also, since she's paired up with a DB Saga, she's going to heal herself every 2% each time. So if she's paired up with a Goku or a DB character, she's going to get that extra ability there. So the fact that we have DKP is really nice. Now, you don't need to have Red Ribbon Army Piccolo. You guys could go down for another C tier and put in this purple Goku. This purple Goku just has great support for the team. Like, that's the reason why he's down in the C tier. He helps with charge rate. He helps with key recovery and debuffs for each whatever turn. He gives like great debuffs and support for his allies. So if you wanted to add in a C tier, you guys can do something like this where you have him and then maybe take out Red Radish here, put in 18 here, and then you guys can go to the S tier spot. And if you guys just want another red, you guys can add in like EX Raspberry there. Do something like this. So support, you're getting support from 18 from down below, and then you're getting Bulma support from up top, and then you're getting support from the Goku here. So a lot of support for the team. And not only that, you have Pui Pui here. I think Pui Pui is the character that you kind of need to have because he gives HP for event exclusive, support for the allies as well. So he's a really just valuable character that you need to have, especially with event exclusives. They're kind of already cut with their stats, so you need to have an HP buffer. And the fact that they're having these 3 units here all giving support that's from the middle column is really nice. Now when it comes to the red, like I said, I decided to go with 18 because she's S tier, and then green DKP is S tier as well. And then you have 2 other S tier units in the back there. So that's pretty much it with this setup here. Now when it comes to like the other colors, if you don't have the yellow 18, I'll recommend the yellow free-to-play cell here. I really like him because he gives support for blast damage inflicted for his allies, and he heals his own health by 1% each turn. So great survivability there. But I like 18 a little bit more with the support and the healing she gives for 4 of her units, which is really nice. But this cell is also not bad as well. Now when it comes to any other yellows that I like, I really only like the cell and the what's name. Maybe you can add in the Krillin here because Krillin has the solar flare, so he kind of has like the stun thing for the enemies. But other than that, that's really like the main yellows. When it comes to the purple, you have Red Ribbon Army Piccolo, and then you also have this purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's really the newest free-to-play unit, so I really hope you guys max him out. Prior to that, the co-op that we have now, he was able to grind him and give him 14 stars. When it comes to the greens, the only greens I really like here is the green DKP. Pui Pui is irreplaceable because, like I said, the HP buffer and the support. And then Final Form Cooler here because they're both in S tier spots. If you guys don't have them though, you can probably rock TN or the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta here, but they're in the B tier spot. Is there any good greens here in the A tier? Frieza's strike base, so I'm not including him in here. And then also when it comes down to the purple, you guys can also rock Buhan here. Not Buhan, but Super Boo, because he has high key restore speed. And he also has some decent support, and he also has like a can't attack thing where he does that little scream thing. He can basically do that for one of the opponents there. So he's also not a bad purple unit as well. If you want to go like double purple, so maybe you already have your greens, you're like, I want to like maybe have a better purple. You can just switch the cooler out and put in like green, purple Super Boo here as well. You'll be pretty fine. And then when it comes to the red, you have to have red 18 EX Raspberry, and then you also have the red Goku Black here, and you also have red 21 here. Red Goku Black, what this kid does, like he can charge up his blue card. It's all about charging up his blue card as fast as possible. And then you also have the red Goku here. That's not bad for good reasons, especially with the blast-based GT setup. I kind of mentioned how good he is. And then red 21, she doesn't buff event exclusive, but just the fact that she's a Zenkai character and she gives allies buff for her blast is really nice as well. So that's pretty much it here. When it comes to the blue, you have the Beerus, you have the this Gohan here, and then the other blue character that I like is that regular Broly here. Really nice as well. Broly Fury, great offensive stats and everything, heals himself by 2% in the second turn. So great survivability there. And then you also have this metal cooler that gives support for his allies, and he does great offensive damage. So rock them on my region team, pretty solid there. And that's pretty much it with the blast based team. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here we have is blast based hybrids. Let's get straight into the team here. So let's talk with the S and Z tier. For my S and Z tier, I decided to rock with this purple EX Gohan here. He's range type. does decent damage, right? And then like start a second tune, he gets an extra 60 there, so it's not bad, especially for a, I think he's Z tier. If he's not, is he Z tier? Especially for a Z tier character, that's really good. So I wanted to add him there. If you guys do have that EX GT new Trunks, you guys can use him. I'm not entirely sure if he buffs hybrids. I know he does give some support for GT, but I'm not entirely sure he does it for the hybrids tag. But he's still all in all a good character to use if you have him, because I believe he's blast based. Next after that we have is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think he, just for the 3 turns here, he gets some 60 damage and then minus 20. And if he does die, he gives healing for your team and damage afflicted buffs. So that's not bad at all. And if you guys do have like that blue Super Saiyan movies Gohan, you guys can rock him. I believe he's strike based, but if he's a Z tier character, I'll definitely rock him for sure. You also even have like the tag Gohan and Krillin. You guys can use them, but they're strike based, so that's why I'm not adding them as my main backups, because they're strike based to the blast based. This is a blast based hybrids team. And let's get straight into the team itself. So when it comes to the team, for my C tiers, I decided to go with Gotenks, Ulton, and Kryon here. Now, if you guys do have Ultimate Gohan, Ultra Gohan, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, definitely replace Kryon with him, because he just does so much, especially if the characters are strike attacking you. He gets like his blue card up. It's a nightmare for any strike-based units dealing with Ultra Gohan. But if you guys do have him, put him over to Kryon, but I don't have him, so I'm adding Kryon as my main green. Ultimate Gohan, I don't really need to explain how good he is as a character. Kind of, you need that main offensive unit to really carry you, so I decided to add him as my main purple offensive character. And then when it comes to the red blast base, Gotenks is really your only option for real, because he's the only one that's not in the C tier spot, like Red Beast and FSK and Pan. So the fact that he's in here for one more season, definitely want to take advantage of that. So I decided to add him as my main A. You could rock Great Saiyaman, but Great Saiyaman is more on the strike-based side of the things. And then for my other purple, I decided to go with this purple free-to-play Goten here, because he gives a lot of support. He gives healing and support for like Gohan and Goku characters. And since you're building with a lot of Gohan characters here, with like purple Gohan, you have this blue free-to-play Gohan, you have Kryon here. He's going to be able to support and do some great damage and healing for their teams because of the Gohans in there. And when it comes to the blue, I decided to go with Kryon here, because he's not really a lot of blue blast based hybrid units, so I decided to add him as my main one here. Now you can kind of switch this team up where you do have where you build it where you take out this Gohan here. Well, actually, you take out Kryon here. You go to the A tier spot, you put in this tag Gohan and Trunks character. Then you take out this blue free-to-play Gohan and you add in Blue Beast. Right, if you want to just have like a main offensive strike-based unit, you can have your 3 C tier characters. You have still have a good solid green option with the tag unit. And then the fact that, like I said, this is still a Gohan, this free-to-play Goten will be able to give that great support off. So you're not gonna really have that much options in terms of the in terms of the blast-based side of the hybrids team. So any replacements is pretty much gonna be a strike-based unit. So it's really difficult for me to really give you guys like, all right, like for the strike-based, this is the replacement for the blast-based, because pretty much all the replacements are gonna be strike-based characters. So I might as well just move on to the strike-based side of the team, then really give you guys replacements, because they're going to be strike-based units. So let's hop into the next team, which is the last team, strike-based hybrids. Alright, so for the last team here I have is the strike-based hybrids team. Now, for some reason, every time I try to record, it just does not work. So yeah, we're going to just do the pictures here. So I decided to go with Gotenks, Blue Beast, and Red Beast as like my main C tier characters. You could replace Gotenks and add in the Bola. You could definitely do that and put them in the center for healing. And that's kind of like the main 3 that you kind of want to rock, is like Beast, the double Beast, and then either Gotenks or Bola Vegeta. And when it comes to the S tier spots and Z tier spots, purple transforming Trunks and then Goten. And then if you do have the tag Krillin and Gohan there, even if you have the blue EX Gohan, that's actually a really good character to use. That movies one, but I don't have them. And then when it comes to the other characters, tag EX Gohan and Trunks is a really good green, and then you also have the Super Trunks, not Super Trunks, but the Drip Trunks as another good green option. And when it comes for the GT Pan, I only used her because she's Zenkai buffs Blue Beast. You could also replace her with the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, the Zenkai buff the Red Beast as well. And then also Yellow Goten is also another good S tier character to rock, like you guys see there as well. And then also for another setup that you guys can do is take out Blue Pan, add in Yellow GT Pan, or even that Yellow Ultimate Gohan on the bottom right corner there, and then add in Bola Vegeta as your yellow and stuff like that as well. Now when it comes to the green side, you guys can also use the Super Trunks, that LF Trunks there. He just in the B tier spot. I didn't want to add too many B tier characters. I wanted to add some A tiers, especially since we're rocking 3 C tier characters on the team. So that's kind of the reason why I kind of built the team as it is. Now when it comes to the red side, you guys can also add in the red Heat Dome Trunks as well as a Zenkai buffer instead of Great Saiyaman. Great Saiyaman is in the A tier spot, while this Trunks is in the B tier spot. But the fact that he Zenkai buffs red hybrids and he focused on his main Z ability is the strike attack side instead of double defense with Great Saiyaman, it's just a better Z ability in overall for the team since it's a strike based team. So that's pretty much it with the hybrids in a sense. You guys have any more questions, just comment down below. But once again, my name is Green Ruff. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.